What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am finally here to give you guys my review of the Undefeated Air Jordan 4. What can I say? There's grails and then there's grails. The Undefeated Air Jordan 4, it just goes without saying. It's one of those Mount Rushmore type sneakers. It has so much history behind it as it marked the very first collaboration shoe that Jordan brand ever created, and that original release happened in 2005. So that's 20 years ago. And for the OGs, safe to say it was pretty much impossible to get. It's said that they only dropped 72 pairs, of which the majority probably went to friends and family, leaving a size run or two to the general public, which explains why the OGs were reselling for easily 5 figures. I think back in December of 2024, something like that, a pair sold for 50,000 USD. And on a personal note, if you guys saw my video that I posted last summer, I helped RM Sotheby's auction off some of the world's most iconic and most expensive sneakers, one of which was the original Undefeated 4 in a size 11, I believe, and that pair sold for 15,000 USD. So beyond the history and the legendary status of this shoe, it also has personal ties to me in that sense as well. So this re-release dropped in early August and they retailed for a price of 230 US dollars, which is roughly 320 Canadian dollars converted, but no stores here in Canada got them. And even on the Undefeated raffle, I could probably count on my hand the number of people that I know from Canada that managed to hit on the raffle. And I feel like all of them shipped their pairs to the US. So I don't know anyone that actually was from Canada that won a pair that was shipped to Canada. So that's why I want to thank StockX for sponsoring this video. Even though I took an L, StockX is one of the leading marketplaces when it comes to sneakers, streetwear, collectibles. So huge shout out to them for turning my L into a W. So the official colorway for the Undefeated 4 is deep green, Clementine, and black. And the original inspiration behind this colorway, it's based off of the look and the feel of MA1 fighter pilot bomber jackets, which explains why the colorway has a militaristic feel and flavor to it. So before we take a detailed look at the shoe itself, here's a look at the box. So this comes in a retro styled gray colored or silver colored box. We have a play on classic Jordan branding on the top lid, but you can see how it incorporates that 20th anniversary branding on it, paying homage to that original release back in 2005. And inside the box, the paper is also branded with Undefeated and Jordan branding. So as for the shoe itself, the upper of the sneaker is crafted out of a very soft green or olive green colored nubuck. So this nubuck feels very nice to the touch. You run your fingers across it, you can see the color changing, and it has a very nice soft feel to it to the touch. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have another overlay of this nubuck, and the shape of this toe box, I think it's much improved over the 2005 version. This has much more of that OG shape where it's more tapered and it's not as boxy. For the bottom 3 eyelets, as usual, we have this lace crown. This is crafted out of this black colored TPU and it's done in this matte finish. Next to this, we have your signature Air Jordan 4 netting, and then the top 3 eyelets, we have another lace crown here, and it's attached to a black wing or side flap, and this has more of a shiny finish to it as opposed to the matte finish on the lace crown. Underneath this and next to this, we have more of that buttery green colored nubuck, and then on the heel, we have your signature Jordan 4 heel tab, but unlike the OGs which featured Jumpman Air branding, for this retro version it changes things up, giving us Nike Air branding instead, which yes, it's not the OG look, but honestly, I prefer Nike Air branding. Even though this isn't an original colorway from the late 80s, I know some people are purists about which colorways have Nike Air branding, but I'm all for it. I think it looks super clean and I'm not mad about it whatsoever. Hanging off the shoe, it also comes with this hang tag. It's just your normal thin plastic. And then for the laces, these come with 2 different lace options. The standard lace that they come with is a flat style black lace. And if you want to give the shoe a lot of pop, they also come with a bright and bold orange colored flat lace as well. Underneath this, the tongue is covered in that same netting that we saw on the sides of the shoe. However, the top portion of the tongue, this is crafted out of this textile which has a very silky smooth feel to it and has a bit of an iridescent finish to it, so depending on the angle you're looking at it from, it kind of changes in tone or color. And then of course in the middle of this we have this patch which can be removed. Personally, I took it off my pair just because I found that they were fraying up my laces, but it still looks good without it. You can see here we have Jordan Rare Air branding instead. On the back of the tongue, this is covered in this orange colored fuzzy liner, and we have this upside down tag featuring Undefeated branding. For For the insoles, these come with an actual polyurethane lined foam insole. It's covered in this orange colored liner on the top, and we have Nike Air branding on the heel of the left foot and the Undefeated logo on the right foot. So the upper of this Jordan 4 sits atop a polyurethane foam midsole, which is painted in the shiny black on the forefoot and this off-white or cream color on the heel. Encapsulated within this midsole, we have Nike Air technology, so it's underneath the forefoot, which is not visible, but it is visible underneath the heel, and you can see the Air unit itself is painted in orange. And then for the bottom, here we have your typical Jordan 4 outsole, and in this case, it's primarily crafted out of a black colored rubber. We have this herringbone style traction pattern, this orange colored rubber pod on the forefoot, and this Nike logo right in the center of the outsole. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. For those wondering about how these fit, so to me they fit like most recent Jordan 4s, but I feel like they're slightly on the snugger side. So if you're someone that's in between sizes and you don't like a snug fit, I'd recommend probably going up to the larger size. If you're someone that's wide-footed, you probably want to go up half a size as well. But if you have a narrow or normal width foot, or even if you have like a slightly wide foot, I feel like you can go true to size for this shoe. Just depends on how your foot is shaped and your personal preference on how you like your shoes to fit. So in my case, I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and they fit me a little bit snug in the pinky toe area, not to the point where it was like chafing or super uncomfortable, but they're definitely a little bit more narrow than I would have preferred. Moving on to the comfort, so these unfortunately feel like any other Jordan 4, which honestly I don't feel is the most comfortable casual use sneaker. It's gonna be okay, but I wouldn't necessarily wanna rock a shoe like this if I'm gonna be like walking in a mall for hours or something like that, or if I'm going to Disney World or going to a new city and just exploring. I don't really recommend wearing a Jordan 4. But if you're gonna be on your feet for a shorter duration of time, I think these are gonna be perfectly fine. Assuming, of course, you don't have like a really wide foot, then I think the overall shape of the toe box shouldn't be too uncomfortable for you. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so this is where I heard a lot of complaints from people on YouTube, on Instagram, on Reddit. So I think the material quality on the shoe was actually pretty solid. It's nothing amazing, but I thought the materials definitely weren't poor. So this nubuck, like I mentioned, I thought it was quite good. And I don't have a pair of the OGs in hand to compare them head to head, so I can't really say if it was an accurate reproduction of that 2005 pair, but I thought the material quality was decent. The build quality though, this is where I had some issues with, and I think this is where the majority of people had issues with. I've seen other people's pairs online, they've had scuffed toe boxes and panels that are just not symmetrical. So I've seen that, and I was hoping for the best, but kind of expecting the worst when I was waiting for these in the mail. So I feel like for the most part, my pair was actually pretty well put together. There weren't any major glue stains. The panels were relatively consistent. My biggest issue though is this netting on my right foot. You can see it on the lateral side. It has this wavy look. It's just not flat or stitched down tightly. So I know some of you might think it's not the biggest of deals, but this is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to Jordan 4, when they have this wavy netting. It just really looks strange, and it's one of those things where once you notice it, you just can't help but have it in the back of your mind, even though you can't really see it when you're rocking these. So safe to say, I don't think my pair was the worst put together, but for a shoe like this, the Undefeated 4, I was hoping that there'd be more attention to detail, more care, given the prestige of this shoe and what it means to collectors and the history of Jordan brand as a whole. So with all of that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, for the most part, this shoe does a lot of things right. I think the shape is much improved over the 2005 version. I thought the material quality was on point. The colorway speaks for itself. This is just a legendary shoe. The only thing I think they missed on was the quality control, and the overall build quality I thought could have been a little bit tighter, a little bit more put into quality control. But at the end of the day, I'm in the camp that I'm happy that Jordan Brand has brought these back. I know some people, especially those that maybe have a pair of the 05s, maybe they feel a type of way that Jordan Brand is just bringing back all these icons, all these legends, but to me, life's too short to kind of gatekeep. Even though they're bringing back all these legendary shoes, even something like the shattered backboards. I own a pair of the OGs, but I'm happy that other people who missed out on the originals have a chance to own them now. It doesn't really affect me one way or another. I still have the originals in my collection, so I don't need the retros, but I know a lot of people didn't have a pair of the originals, so they're really happy that the shattered backboards are back. And the same thing goes for this. Obviously to a more extreme level. Basically no one has owned this shoe unless you're in that 1% of collectors that just have a lot of money or connections. Personally, I'm really happy to add this to my collection, and I want to know what you guys think. So leave your thoughts down below. What are your thoughts on this Undefeated 4? Are you happy that Jordan Brand has brought these back? Do you think they should keep certain shoes as forever grails and just never touch them again? Leave your thoughts down below and let's talk about it. And what are your thoughts on the quality control on your pair? Did you get lucky with a clean pair? Did you have a lot of issues on yours? Whether it's good or bad, I want to hear your thoughts. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll link my social media accounts down below for you guys to follow. And another huge shout out to StockX for sponsoring today's video. If you're interested to look for the Undefeated 4s on StockX, you can check out my link down below. So thank you again for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you all in my next review.